Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Parasocial Pals podcast, your one and only podcast that I've ever listened to about Star Trek. I am Papa Strell. With me is my co-host Nick. Nick, how you doing this morning, afternoon, whatever?
Uh, could be better. My internet's down, so we're podcasting via the 4G wireless on my phone.
Hell yeah! Honestly, you sound pretty good. I was a little skeptical when you told me we were doing phone style, but so far it sounds great.
Yeah, I'm not sure which mic it's using, my phone or my earbuds, but whatever works.
Yeah, no, either way, it sounds great. Um, yeah, I'm no stranger to internet problems. I had a whole rigmarole. Hey, you know what? It's a lot easier to get your internet fixed when you don't have a job to go to. Funny how that happens.
I think there was like an Onion article about that. Like, what was the headline? Like, man feels the best he's ever been after losing his job for 1 week.
There's so many things I can get done. I can go to the bank. I can make appointments. It's crazy. It's ludicrous that I like genuinely if I worked a fucking 9 to 5 and I had to take time off to be here Tuesday and then like the guy had to come back. Oh, I'd have been beyond pissed.
Yeah, I think we need to move to the 4-day work week.
I it's I know
Everyone gets to
exactly.
pick a different day, so it's all spread out. But
Yeah, that's fine.
we
We don't all have to take Friday off. We can spread it out. That's fine. No, there was a time where
but
my
like
wife was working 4 days a week, 10 hours a day, and it's the best thing ever. Loved it.
Yeah, like I feel like on the weekends, sure, you have time to do things, but also most things that you want to do are going to be either closed or drastically shortened hours.
Yeah, and everyone else is doing it, so there's going to be lines and shit like that. And in addition to all the things you want to do, there's a bunch of non-job shit you still have to do. You have to do laundry, you have to clean. God forbid you have any sort of car maintenance that needs to be done. Things of that nature.
Yes. What we need is some kind of reverse Sabbath day where you do all of the shit that's not work, but is also work.
Hell yeah. We'll call it Smarch.
Smart.
So I have the rare opportunity to talk about Magic the Gathering on our Star Trek podcast because they
Oh, on
recently
the day when I
announced.
can't see the stream?
Yeah, it's the perfect opportunity. Um, they recently announced a bunch of Star Trek cards, and it's they're certainly going all out, it would seem. Um, I've got a bunch of them here on the stream. We're not going to go through them one by one, but they've got some solid episode references. Amok Time gets its own card. I believe City on the Edge of Tomorrow gets its own card, and it's actually City on the Edge of Forever. I always fuck that name up.
It's yeah, I can understand that. It is the Back to the Future episode.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to mnemonic it
Way the fuck
or
before Back
whatever.
to the Future. I was reading something like if Back to the Future happened today, that Marty McFly would be going back to like 2001, and I just hate everything about that. So I got an idea
We
for
already
Back to the
missed the
Future
opportunity
4.
for him to go. Yeah, we already missed the opportunity for him to go 19 years back to 1985 or whatever
Yeah.
when that movie took place.
Mm-hmm.
And Zemeckis will never allow it to happen while he's alive.
So we write the script right now. Hopefully he dies within the next 6 months. Back to the Future 4. Marty McFly goes back to 2001 and has to stop or cause 9/11. We'll figure that out later.
Well, we're going to have to find a cure for Parkinson's first, because I'm not sure how much longer Michael J. Fox is going to last.
Oh, we're not using Michael J. Fox. We'll use somebody that looks or at least sounds like him.
James Arnold Taylor?
Yeah, you know what? That's close enough, even though he He doesn't exactly look like a high school kid. God, he was supposed to be in high
No,
school in that movie.
we do it like what is it, Luke in The Mandalorian, and we just CGI
Yeah,
CGI necromancy a face over him.
just CGI necromancy face over whatever fucking guy we want. It's the perfect crime.
I
Um,
do wonder how far out we are from Disney just deciding to remake the original trilogy.
I I feel like it's only like I'm certain they've got like desks full of stuff they want to do the second they get the chance.
Because it feels like the era of like legacy sequels is over. We're just going straight to remakes now.
Yeah, it's just we've given up on pretend. We're just doing remakes now. I am curious if Disney's going to let off the gas at all after what seems to be the horrible flop that is Moana.
Yeah, they've had kind of back to back flops this year, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, I they're really hoping to make up the difference with Marvel, which might be why I keep seeing all these Spider-Man commercials.
Much like Marvel always has done, Spider Man is keeping the whole ship afloat for
Yeah.
everyone.
Help us, Spider-Man, you're our only hope.
Spider Man and Batman, they're both the load bearing pillars for their respective companies.
Yeah, I think they just delayed that new Spider-Man, the new Batman movie as well.
Mm,
I feel like they delayed it to next year and it was supposed to come out this year, maybe even 2028. I forget exactly. The one with Robert
that doesn't
Pattinson.
surprise me.
Yeah.
Probably trying to squeeze more multiverse shit into it because they can't help themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're seeing a backlash on that, but I don't know. They'll try anything for way too long before they turn the ship around.
I mean, if Sony's taught us anything, backlash means nothing.
I mean, we'll see how that is. I I would love for them to change course on the no more discs, but I feel like that's a systemic thing that they were going to do no matter what.
Yeah, well, they thought they were ripping the band-aid off, but they were actually like tearing open their stitches.
Yeah, like this pretty much all but confirms that the PlayStation 6 is not going to have a disc drive.
Oh no, no way.
And I don't like the problem is like no matter how bad it people complain, what are you going to do? Buy an Xbox? Like there's no real downside to PlayStation. There's no stakes, sadly.
Just play games on your PC, I guess, if you have one.
Yeah, they were already doing that, and that's why they're taking their toys back and putting them in their house.
Well, I can tell you from looking at the PlayStation Store, the deals on PC are much better.
It's true. Always have been.
So
But
I guess that's the whole reason they're doing this, because they think they can recapture that, but people are just going to go where it's cheaper,
I
especially
mean,
if they have to buy a whole new console.
yeah, like it's fine for now because nobody has to buy a new console, but I'm certain their thought was we'll make more money selling it on PC, and maybe that wasn't the case. We don't know, but I have a pretty good idea. And I'm sure they really wanted people to not be as pissed about having to make a PlayStation account on Steam as they are. So they were thinking, oh, well, at least we can get their information. But now that they can't have either, they're like, all right, well, then what's the fucking point anymore?
The wild thing is they have never considered just making cheaper games. Just make games that
No,
don't cost $7 million to make.
absolutely not. Never. No, everything needs to look as good as it can and cost as much as it does for reasons.
It's like What was the budget on like God of War Ragnarok? It was like fucking 30 million or something, right?
I think it was closer to 500.
Yeah.
It was I like
Like,
that or Spider-Man. One of them was a fucking lot of money.
why are you making games that, in order to make a profit, your entire install base has to purchase?
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah, and yeah, it's like and you're spending all this time on this stuff. You're contracting multiple studios, and you're not really making it any faster. I thought the point of having other studios work backup is that games didn't take 4, 5, 6, 7 years to make.
No. The unfortunate thing with outsourcing is it actually tends to drag things out.
Yeah. God forbid you try to tell any
Because
of the fucking people that.
turns out communicating with people halfway across the world is not easy.
Yeah. Turns out there's small slivers of time where people can actually communicate.
That's not even accounting for language barriers and, incompetence.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. God forbid you have to fucking write an email, have somebody else translate it. Then somebody else has to reply, and then that email has to get translated. That's a day and a half just for that.
But I guess we don't have to worry now because we're in the future. So instead of outsourcing, it's AI. And if we do outsource, we just use AI to translate.
Yeah, we just use the AI to translate the outsourcing that we outsourced to an AI, but they didn't know that till it was too late. Anyway, in a slapdash attempt to bring this back to Star Trek, what's a Tosk?
A Tosk? So that's the card with the running man, right?
Yeah.
So that's from an episode of Deep Space Nine where they encounter a species that is bred to be prey. And he is being hunted, and it's like one of those what is it, Prime Directive episodes where it's just their culture. They gotta hunt him, bro. And every time they offer to help him, he's like, "No, man, I need to be on the run. That's my thing. It's a great honor."
It's a great honor to be hunted.
And everyone on the station's like, "Bro, they're gonna fucking kill you." And he's like, "I know."
That's the point. Hilarious.
So yeah, that's what a Tosk is. It's basically a guy who's bred to be the running man.
And I'm sure that will come up oh so very much whenever we get to that.
No, it's a single episode.
Oh, no, a single episode in Star Trek, say it ain't so.
I believe he makes friends with O'Brien because we must torture O'Brien.
That's fucking the one person he makes friends with. Surely nothing bad will go wrong.
Like O'Brien is the what is it, empathetic voice of the episode. He's like, "Man, you can't be doing this. It's immoral." And he's like, "But I wanna."
But it's all I know. It's all they've ever told me.
Any other good cards in there?
I was curious about the In Pale Moonlight. If you could tell me anything about that episode, because you said that's another one that's based on an episode.
That is a very famous episode. I don't mind spoiling it because you're gonna forget by the time we get there. That's gonna be in like 5 years.
Yeah.
So what happens in that episode is that they are at war with what is it, the changelings, the founders or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Cisco does a little subterfuge to try to trick the Romulans into joining them in the war against a larger foe. And so he generates fake evidence to prove that they are enemies of the Romulans. But the Romulans find out it's fake immediately. However, that was actually a double subterfuge by another character named Garrick, who is a spy, who was the one who proposed the whole plan to Cisco. And that was really just to get him an excuse to have the evidence on him so he could blow up the Romulan ambassador's ship to false flag an attack by the changelings on the Romulans to get them to join the war. And so, because the evidence in that ship was damaged, it would appear legitimate. They would
Ah.
just assume the damage to the information was caused by the explosion. And then Cisco at the end of the episode is like, "Why did you do that? I didn't want you to do that." And Garrick is like, "Well, it all worked out, didn't it? They're joining us, and we needed them to join us or we die." And so Cisco has a long monologue at the end of the episode where he's like, "Yeah, I don't like it, but I can live with it." And then he deletes his fucking commander's log.
Sometimes the ends do justify the means, but only when I say
And he's
so.
never punished for it.
Hell yeah.
No one ever finds out.
No one ever fought, because why would they? They have a literal fucking time squad, but they're not going to check deleted logs.
So yeah, when I was looking at that card, thematically the elements of the episode are there, like generate clue token and
then
sacrifice a creature
or an artifact, which could be that clue token. Yeah,
yeah.
They're pretty.
But as you were saying, is a bad card.
Yeah, like it's too expensive to be good. Like this, I don't even think it'll see play in limited, honestly, but it's interesting. They definitely were paying attention. You can see when the game designers like the thing that they're making these Magic cards for, now that they're making so many things that are not Magic. Final Fantasy also had a lot of very flavorful cards. Spider-Man, not so much.
That surprises me because everybody loves Spider-Man.
It's not like it was all bad cards, but it was definitely like, feels like you're just putting
I don't know what to do with
stuff
this.
on cardboard at this point. Yeah. And picking characters without any real reason, like that British Spider-Man that may or may not have been AI. Who can say?
Yeah, I saw the dilemma tag on there. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, so it's one of the fun things Magic does where it's not like it's kind of a keyword, but it's not anything new. They're just like giving something old a name for the purpose of the set. So in this set so far, they've only shown 7 of 9 as a dilemma card. And she says, whenever you face a dilemma, draw a card. And on the version I have here, which you can't see, it explains what a dilemma is. So when you face a dilemma, when you choose one or more modes for a spell or ability.
So it's whenever you face like a mutually exclusive choice, right?
Not necessarily mutually exclusive. It could be something where you can like the Kirk card is a great example. How Kirk was like, whenever you enter or attack, choose one. If you don't have any cards in your hand, you can choose one or more. So the fact that you're given a choice at all is considered a dilemma. So even if you're choosing all 3, that's still considered facing a dilemma. So that would trigger 7 of 9 in this instance.
I'm sure tournament judges will love this.
Oh yeah, it'll be great. It's on like there are way more complicated stuff than this. The thing that so this one they've been doing a better job of this. Back maybe about 6 years ago, they would use words to describe things that later got turned into actual keywords. Surveil is an example where you look at the top card of your deck, you can either put it in the graveyard or you can put it back. There were cards that specifically triggered off of you surveilling. And then later, they had cards that did the exact same functional thing as surveil, but they didn't call it surveil. And because they didn't, that wouldn't trigger all of your cards that say whenever you surveil. This angered a lot of people because it's like, this is functionally the same. We know it's functionally the same, but you're not recognizing it. And at first they said, too bad, fuck off. And then later they're like, okay, fine, we're going to go back and errata all that stuff. You happy now? And the answer is yes. But this one, since it's not describing its own special keyword, it's just sort of giving one to a thing that Magic's already been doing for decades, could have more long-standing effects.
I wonder what the overlap between Magic players and people in the legal profession is.
Well, we do literally have a thing called judges, so probably higher than you'd think.
I don't know, if you just like obscure law and shit, it seems like it'd be the thing for you.
Oh man, the let me see if I can quickly bring up the Magic the Gathering comprehensive rule set. Comprehensive rules. So if we open the PDF, the comprehensive rules, the entirety of the rules of Magic the Gathering is 311 pages. Now,
That's longer than I think the first Harry Potter book.
that is, yeah. There is no human on this or any planet that knows every single page of this fucking rule book. I guarantee you that. Oh my God, there's like 60 pages of just keyword explanations.
You might be underestimating certain people with certain proclivities.
I might, but I don't consider them people at that point. But someone like me knows enough to get by. And for 99% of the time, that's good enough.
I guess that's why we have judges.
That's why we have judges. It's their job to know that shit I don't want to know. And we've also got Reddit for people to post, hey, did my friend lie to me? And everyone in the comments to go, yes, your friend straight up lied to you.
You mean you're not supposed to get the money when you get on free parking?
Only on Tuesdays. But if it's at night, then no.
Don't you fizzbin me. Which I guess leads into the episode that we're not talking about.
I guess we should start talking about Star Trek the
First.
show. Yes.
Thankfully, I still have 4G on my phone, so I can look at things there.
Oh, yeah, good. Well, the episode title, for those of you unawares from last time, The Gamesters of Triskelion. I originally misheard you as gangsters. Funny how that actually ended up being relevant an episode later.
Yeah, so our cast list this time is, well, always we've got Kirk in the captain's chair, or in this case, driving the action.
Captain's thong.
We've got Chekhov and Uhura in the landing party with him, but they don't get to really do anything.
Uhura gets something, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, besides one scene, like, she's not really in the episode. Then let's see. There's a B plot with Scotty and Spock and McCoy up in the ship. They really have a hard time handling B plots in TOS because it just seems like they're always just searching for the crew when they go missing. That's all they do.
Look, if Kirk is not on the bridge, everyone should be asking, where's Kirk?
They spend half the episode doing that.
Literally doing
really
that.
Pads out the runtime. For our guest stars, we have, let's see. There was a big barbarian-looking guy. There was a slightly less barbarian-looking guy who was actually much more barbaric. There's the bald vampire Master Thrall.
Yeah.
There's Shauna, the space babe of the episode, and the yellow space babe, who is decidedly less babe-ish.
Yeah, she gets a small scene with Chekhov, and that's basically it.
There's also a female ensign who gets like one line.
Oh,
like
yeah.
A blonde lady who tells Spock to look at the scanner, and then she walks off screen.
She just fucks off like, all right, I don't have to do this anymore.
Yeah, they kind of hurry everyone else off the bridge pretty quickly.
Yeah.
After that first scene with them, it's all just Chekhov, Spock, and McCoy.
Yeah.
Like being snarky at each other.
It's sensitive information. We can't have the whole crew know that Jack the Ripper's in the computer.
Anyway, because I am both having internet issues and because I just want to try something different, I'm just going to give the back of the box synopsis of the episode.
Okay.
So, in this episode, Kirk and friends are kidnapped and forced to fight in gladiatorial games. Kirk, through guile and subterfuge, tries to seduce his way out of slavery. That ends up not working.
Surprisingly.
It turns out the slave masters of this planet are disembodied brains who are what hopped up on their own intelligence.
And
Kirk
gambling
manages
addicts.
to appeal to their gambling addiction to wager for the freedom of himself and his crew. Eventually, he wins in single combat against multiple opponents and makes out with a space babe and leaves. The B plot of the episode is the people on the Enterprise trying to find him. That's it. That's all they do.
That's literally it. It's so just before the podcast today, I was watching a couple of old episodes of The Simpsons with my wife. Seasons 4 and 5, I believe. I'm sure
the good ones, yes.
I'm sure you would know the one where Krusty loses his show to a ventriloquist dummy and then does a special to come back. And then the one where they set up a casino in Springfield.
Those both sound vaguely familiar.
So the thing that was really interesting about the Krusty episode, maybe it was because it was the season finale, but there was absolutely no B plot. It was all A plot the whole way through. And I was taken aback. I was like, wait, we can have a show where it's just one plot the whole time? It's weird. Feels out of place.
The camera's just on one guy the whole time? What is this, God of War 2016?
Yeah. And then like the casino gambling episode kind of had a B plot where Lisa needed a costume as a state, and she ends up going as Florida. Iconic meme if you've ever seen. But that was really more of like A plot than it was B plot. And again, I was thinking to myself, wow, there's no B plot in this episode. It's just one thing the whole way through. That's weird. They don't make TV like this anymore.
Well, you're paying these actors so much, you need to give them screen time.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I just thought that was an interesting aside where there was a time, sometime after Star Trek, where we didn't need B plots.
Yeah, I'm sure someone more intelligent than us has done a video essay on the evolution of television script writing.
I'm sure they have, and they probably put it on YouTube with a bunch of ads, and maybe it's blocked in Belarus. Anyway, yeah, getting back to the nitty-gritty of the gamesters of Triskelion. I forget exactly what they were doing in space. As usual, they were probably scanning shit or whatever. I think they were going to get teleported down to a planet.
Yeah, they were doing some like routine shit, and they were just about to teleport down to a planet, and then they get teleported differently.
Yeah, for whatever reason, Kirk decides he's going to bring Uhura and Chekhov on the landing party. Chekhov shows up more often than I think he deserves to. Uhura, very weird for her to be part of a landing party, but they needed a woman, so they picked her, I guess.
Yeah. She's like the communications officer, so I don't know what the purpose was, but
yeah, it's
maybe they had a communications equipment down there that they needed fixing.
Yeah,
they
maybe
to get her crawling under the desk to fix it.
Yeah, to rewire a fucking radio. The weirdness starts when, unlike as we are used to, the characters sort of magically and slowly fading out, they just sort of pop out of the transporter and onto this planet.
Yeah, the teleporting has like no visual effect, but it has like a twangy like guitar string effect, I think.
Yeah, just like bow. It's definitely one we've heard before. It's sort of been like the de facto magic sound in Star Trek of late.
Yeah, it's a pretty like stock 60s sound effect for like magic teleportation.
I'm wondering if it originated from something like I Dream of Jeannie. I feel like I've definitely heard it in something older.
Maybe. I recall her being more like jingle jangly, but I don't know.
Could be.
For sure.
There's so many Magic Woman television shows from the fucking 60s and 50s.
Remember the reboot of Bewitched with Will Ferrell?
I remember it existing. I never watched it.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Yeah, it sounds about right. It's Of all the movies I know of Will Ferrell, that's not one that people talk about at all. But I do remember it existing. Yeah, so the landing party...
They get kidnapped pretty quickly into the episode.
Yeah, like almost immediately they've been kidnapped. They land on some planet, which is not the one they intended to. It's got a Triskelion on the ground, which we learned is like a 3-pieced emblem, basically. Maybe it has rings, maybe it has legs, maybe it has fucking whatever. It's got 3. That's why it's a Triskelion.
Yeah, it's the planet is also called Triskelion. But I guess traditionally what a Triskelion is it's a symbol with like 3 appendages. Sometimes it's literally legs, sometimes it's spirals, sometimes it's, I don't know, thunderbolts or something. But just Google it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a particularly famous one of like a woman's head with 3 legs around it.
It kind of reminds me of that lion demon that shows up in every like Castlevania game.
Oh yeah.
I think they're usually called like boers or something.
Let's see if this quick Google search brings up the one that I'm thinking of. Okay. Trinacria symbol? Is this it's the symbol of Sicily. Okay. That's why. My father was stationed in Sicily in Italy, so I've probably seen a lot of this. Interesting. Okay.
I guess Kirk never learned not to wager life and death with a Sicilian.
It's a bad idea. Never works out. Unless you're like a cheater or whatever. Anyway, what he does learn...
The Dread Pirate Roberts, yeah.
What he does learn is that the planet has some fighters on it. A big man, a bigger man, and a couple of fucking Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, did they just like immediately start fighting them?
I think they just immediately, yeah, like they don't get any information. They just immediately start fighting them, and they've got those weird fishhook weapons.
It's like a glaive with a fishhook on the butt of it.
Yeah, and the glaive part looks a lot like a fucking sharp can opener. Yeah, incredibly cartoonish. I mean,
they did not look sharp at all to our modern television sets.
Yeah.
But
back then they looked like real metal, I'm sure. It was definitely a series of unfair fights. Chekhov gets paired against the huge dude, which looks almost twice as tall as him. Dude's absolutely fucking massive.
He gets the right-in treatment of going for the gut punches that do nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he tries to fucking gut punch the guy who just fucking slaps him away because of his nanomachine, son.
And I think Uhura just gets ganged up on by the girls, and they're like, so whenever they're using the can opener weapons, they're never like trying to hit anybody with the blades. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, especially when like Kirk ends up with a bunch of cuts on his body this episode, and none of them are from that weapon.
No, he's getting like whipped.
Yeah. But yeah,
whipped by a gymnastics lanyard.
I'm sure it was baby soft when they were filming. So yeah, Uhura's getting double teamed by some Oompa Loompas. And then Kirk is fighting the much more regular human-sized dude. And Kirk's the only one who seems to like win his fight because he's the only one in a fair fight.
Because James T. Kirk had the original draft of The Rock's I Can't Lose contract.
I cannot lose ever, especially to a fucking clanker. But yeah, then all of a sudden fucking Nosferatu just appears out of nowhere.
Yeah, this guy had weird like skin makeup on his entire head where he kind of just looked really flaky and ashy.
Yeah, like imagine somebody was trying to put like metallic Tin Man makeup, but they gave up after like 2 minutes. Like it's all patchy and not smooth at all, and I'm not sure if that's how it was intended to look. Maybe it looked better on an older television.
I think I kind of described it to you like it looked like his sunscreen hadn't been rubbed all the way in.
Yeah, like he just had little fucking patches of sunscreen. He was also wearing
he looked like Dracula.
Yeah, he was wearing a completely black cloak.
Yeah, all of the combatants had collars on with little triangles of different colors. His triangular collar had all three colors on it.
Oh, I didn't even realize that he was wearing a collar and that it had all three colors on it. Okay.
Yeah, I believe he was also implied to be a slave,
That
just,
would,
higher up.
yeah, just a higher level slave. That makes sense. Gort, I think his
House
name
slave.
was. um,
Oh, I can look up his name.
yeah.
It was Galt.
Galt, that's it. Okay. I knew it started with a G.
John Galt?
John Galtman? So yeah, he shows up, tells everyone to stop fighting, informs Kirk and the crew that they are now slaves. They're gonna be enslaved and they're gonna learn to be good slaves or else. Kirk naturally doesn't like this, but he doesn't have much of a choice. They've got weapons.
Yeah, I think the next scene they cut to is like them being shackled to the wall and having like the necklaces. Are they already all of them or are they putting them on them? I
I
forget.
forget. Yeah, I don't remember if they're putting them on, but they do go on them, and then they like use them to like hurt them and be like, yeah, you're under my control, do what I want or I'll shock you. And Kirk's like, this is slavery. And Galt's like, I don't fucking care.
I was like, yeah,
you,
it is.
you think we
Get with the
get people to
program.
willingly come here and fight?
Yes, and because they are not fully trained, the Enterprise cruise's necklace is just blank white right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Their necklaces, unlike everyone else, everyone besides Galt has a necklace of one single color, whereas the Enterprise crews are all uncolored.
Which I guess, as we learn, corresponds to the colored brains that operate everything.
The providers,
The providers.
which, yeah, I think they reference the providers, but that's about it. I think they're shuffled down the corridor to their new cells, and Kirk dick punches a guy to try and get out of there. But then I think they get collar shocked into submission.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah, I think they try to do like a combo maneuver where everyone punches everyone and they try to run down the hall.
Yeah. Then they get stopped. Uhura falls over. You can just see all the way up her skirt. It's crazy.
I mean, you can already see almost all the way up her skirt.
Yeah, but they weren't even hiding it anymore. That small screen, nobody could see nothing. But yeah, eventually they get taken in and put into their little cells. I think this is where the first, like, not the biggest guy, but the guy that Kirk fought shows up, and he's like giving food to Uhura. He's got a knife that looks like the one from the Mirror Universe, I think you pointed out.
I'm sure it's a reused prop.
It did look exactly like the one from the Mirror Universe.
But yeah, he sexually assaults her.
Yeah, he's going in there, giving her some food, saying like, you've been assigned to be my. I don't think he uses the word mate, but basically that. And then just like,
It's like, what, we've been selected for each other or something like that.
yeah, something like that. Like, very unspecific, but you know exactly what's going on. And then he just starts assaulting her, and she's like yelling and screaming off screen, and you can't hear or see anything anymore, and it's very distressing.
They don't explicitly show anything, and Nichelle Nichols is screaming like it's real.
Oh yeah. Horrifying.
And Kirk is freaking out like a normal person would.
Like a normal captain in person would be. I
and
think
that's
she
when they
eventually
cut the commercial.
I think she eventually kicks him out. And he's like, you know, you'll comply eventually. It's the will of the providers or whatever.
Yes, they imply that he was not actually able to successfully do anything, but still.
Yeah. I don't remember if Kirk's lady shows up now or after we cut to the Enterprise.
I forget the order of the events the Enterprise shows up in because none of those segments end up mattering.
Yeah. I think she shows up before, and it's one of the women that Uhura was fighting. She's got green hair. She's thinner than the other one, for lack of a better phrase. And
Much sexier costume.
yeah, much more revealing costume. Very silvery too.
It kind of so this whole episode felt very much more like a Buck Rogers type like sci-fi,
mm-hmm.
like a classic like sci-fi serial adventure
Yeah.
where the hero gets on a weird planet, gets the
Strangers in
girl,
a
and
strange
leaves.
land.
Like both of our episodes today, I think I said earlier, were very like testosterone-y.
Oh yeah, very very actiony, very shit's going on.
Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, so she explains to Kirk.
Sorry, give me a minute.
Yeah, no problem. I got you muted for right now. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yep. So yeah, his trainer thrall or whatever. She's gonna be training him up because that's the job she's assigned to, and he's gonna be working real hard to be a good thrall. And he's like, nah, it sounds like bullshit. By the way, you're very pretty. She's like, oh, no one's ever told me I'm pretty before.
No, I think her exact words is beautiful. What is beautiful?
What is beautiful?
As if she's not wearing like 7 layers of makeup.
Hey, she came pre-makeup as far as that character knows. But yeah, Kirk, the gears are spinning in Kirk's head, and that's when we cut back to the Enterprise. Spock now in charge because there's no Captain Kirk. They can't find him on the planet that he was supposed to be on. Scotty swears that it had nothing to do with the transporter. Spock is like, well, fucking check it again. And McCoy's just kind of being a dick the whole time.
Scotty gets a little offended when Spock is like, well, did you check?
Yeah.
He's like, of course I checked.
Of course I fucking checked it. Well, check it again. Both of them very logical in their own way, and only one of them can be right. As usual, it's Spock, but we don't find that out till later. So yeah, they're desperately trying to figure out where the fuck their captain and other crew members are. They can't. McCoy's just kind of being a dick. He's not really helping, but he's there on the bridge for whatever fucking reason.
Because they paid for DeForest Kelly, and they're gonna use him.
I guess so. Yeah. There's many a scene, but at one point, Spock finds an unusual trail and decides to follow it, and everyone, including McCoy, is like, "What? You can't leave this area. What if Kirk's here?" And Spock is like, "We've already looked for Kirk here, and he's not here. We should go look somewhere else." And that angers McCoy greatly that a man would try to fucking solve a problem.
I guess McCoy is just convinced that they're still somewhere on the planet that they were originally on.
Yeah,
but
obviously it's our fault. We didn't look hard enough. But yeah, that's basically the entirety of the fucking B plot.
Yeah. They do eventually show up at the planet, but it just ends up not. It just raises the stakes for Kirk to win.
Yeah, they don't actually go to the planet. They don't really do anything. They just show up, like, right at the end.
Because Kirk needs his Uber home.
He does. How else? What is he gonna do? Find a fucking magic lady on an asteroid or something? That's crazy. That would never happen. So yeah, I think at this point we cut back to the prison. Chekhov gets the only scene he's gonna get, where the still very pretty but decidedly second place prize woman shows up and is very interested in him.
They put like a voice filter on her to make her voice deeper. I don't know if that was supposed to be like some kind of transphobic joke from back then.
Yeah, I think it was, I honestly think it was just to make her sound less desirable because she had like really big eyebrows that like wrapped around her fucking head.
Yeah, she had the Ganondorf eyebrows.
Yeah, she had like lightly painted yellow skin. It was weird. She looked even more like an Oompa Loompa than the other one. But yeah, she's super into Chekhov, and Chekhov like fucking thinks he can do better, I guess. So he's rebuffing her advances.
Yeah, that's like, aside from like being on the ground screaming, that's all of the Chekhov content we get for this episode.
That's pretty much. Which is, you know what? It's interesting. I don't think he ever mentioned Russia once.
If they had given him a chance.
Oh, if they had given him a chance. But yeah, at that point they're all ushered out into the yard. It's time to do drills and exercises. And
yeah, I think they're all just practicing like banging the middle of their spears together.
Yeah, they're not really doing anything. But then Galt shows up and is like, "Okay, you're gonna practice on a live target. It's this guy that you've never seen before. I think he's in trouble for being
I don't
bad."
think we see him again.
That's true. We do see him again, actually.
Oh, we do?
Oh, do we?
I forget when.
Oh, was he in the fight scene at the end, or is he just gone forever?
At the end, I think they swapped him out for like one of those guys.
Oh
with
yeah,
antennas.
one of the aliens with the little like ear thingies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah,
the Shrek ears.
Yeah. So yeah, they're basically told to do live fire exercises. Kirk, being the stalwart humanitarian, refuses, or maybe it was Uhura that refused.
Uhura refuses first, and then Kirk backs her up. I think.
Yeah, Kirk backs her up and says that it's his responsibility, and they're like, "All right, well, if it's your responsibility, then you're going to take Uhura's punishment."
I recall they're like, "All right, you're going to be the live test subject," and then they're like, "It'll be less painful than the collar, so just do it, man."
Yeah, trust me, it'll be okay. So they like bind him up and then just beat him up with the sticks a little bit.
He gets whipped too.
Yeah, I forget exactly why he gets whipped. I think he like tries to fight back at one point, and they're like, "All right, now you need to be punished."
Mm.
But I remember at some point, they hear some disembodied voices, which is the first time, and they're saying like, "Oh, I bet 500 quatlus on the new guy, and 200 quatlus that he fails, and stuff like that."
I guess this is the first time quatlus have come up.
Yeah,
so they definitely reuse that term somewhere.
I was going to ask because, you know, as someone who started his Star Trek voyage with Futurama, quatlus is that thing from the Star Trek episode, and I have no idea what the fuck it actually is. My other understanding is that they don't really have a monetary system in Star Trek. So what the fuck is a quatlu?
I assume it's alien money.
Yeah.
I don't.
Maybe it's like brain juice or something. Yeah, it's not super clear. Spoilers, it's not explained.
And it does not matter.
Yeah.
All we need to know is that Kirk being untrainable is worth 500 quatlus.
Kirk being untrainable is worth 500 quatlus. So I think
these guys are basically like Kalshi embodied in like 3 brains.
Yeah.
Just prediction marketing.
3 dudes with their own little prediction market.
Basically just passing back the like $400 they have on Venmo between each other.
Yeah. So I think at the end, like Kirk fights back and beats the guy who was whipping him. And then the disembodied voices immediately start like bidding on Kirk and crew, and eventually the red one wins and their collars turn red.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I remember from that fight with the big guy is Kirk, his hands are bound and he does the like roll on the ground and tucking his like handcuffed hands under his feet.
Yeah, so he can get his hands out in front of him.
That seemed like a pretty difficult stunt to do.
Oh yeah, actually, like fucking, I just thinking about it from like my own body, I don't think there's any way I could fucking do that.
Because it seemed like he did that in a single take while also doing some other like combat stunts.
Yeah, like he was trying to roll away from the guy at the same time. It's actually pretty impressive.
Shatner was an athletic guy in his prime.
He was, yeah. which we'll see a lot more because after this, Shatner loses his shirt for pretty much the rest of the episode.
Yeah, they also show his like wounds, but it's like lipstick on his chest.
Yeah, it's just like a couple of long streaks of lipstick that if you look at it and squint, it kind of looks like a sad frog. But yeah, he gets some yard time with his trainer lady who has a name that I've completely forgotten.
Shana.
Shauna, that's right. Yeah. Him and Shauna go out and talk about he tries his best to seduce / get information out of her, something he's very good at.
Something she is very susceptible to.
Yeah. He tells her how pretty she is and how much he loves her and how he really needs to know what the fuck is going on. And that love is the most important thing on Earth, which, like, God, this is a fucking utopia, isn't it?
We're on Triskelion, which is a trinary star system.
It is, which seems like it'd just be so fucking hot. Why is Galt wearing all black? That's insane.
It's like how people in the Middle East wear those super long robes.
Yeah, but they're not black. They're white. The robes.
What is it? The niqab is black, right?
Is it? I don't know. I don't know the names of any of those. I just feel like I normally see them in like mostly white or at least bright colored robes.
I guess it depends on if you're a man or a woman.
Could very well be. But yeah, so Kirk manages to get some information out of her about the providers, and they just sort of appeared and make shit happen, and they've always been. And then they just like remote laser agonize her to death.
Yeah, which she doesn't seem to blame Kirk for, even though it is his fault.
Yeah, no, she's very sympathetic to getting like almost killed out in the middle of the wilderness. And Kirk makes up for it by making out with her because women like it when you just make out with them when they're in pain, right? I'm pretty sure that's the case.
I mean, if my understanding of Love and Deep Space is correct, yes, that is true.
Yeah. Just don't send anything in the mail.
But yeah, I forget if they agonize Kirk or if they're just like, "Hey, that was pretty funny, but don't do it again."
Oh yeah, Galt shows up and he's like, "You have amused the provider, so they're not going to punish you, even though they already punished Shauna. But your ass needs to get back to your cells." I think there's another scene with the Enterprise. McCoy makes a pointed ear comment about Spock. I don't remember exactly what the deal was with that.
I remember there being one bit where Spock like leans in real close and whispers like, "Hey guys, I'm in charge unless you guys want a mutiny," and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, mutiny!"
Nobody said nothing about mutiny. That's maybe a little mutiny as a treat.
Because McCoy really doesn't want to leave his planet because he knows a place, I guess.
Yeah, McCoy knows so many places. Oh yeah, isn't that the scene where fucking Scotty's like, warp 6 is best as I can do, and then at the end of the scene he's like, I can get it up to warp 7 or 8. Fucking Scotty.
I think there's a joke in one of the movies where Scotty tells I think it's Generations, where Scotty's giving like engineering advice to Geordie LaForge, and he's like, "Yeah, always undersell your ability so you look like a miracle worker when you make things work out."
Tell him it'll take an hour, and then when it takes 30 minutes, you're a hero.
Basically.
Yeah, if only Domino's had figured that out, they wouldn't have had to fucking do all those lawsuits for delivering pizza.
I'm surprised pizza places do delivery anymore.
I haven't really indulged in it recently, but like some of them have very strict like mileage. Like we will only deliver to people 5 to 10 miles away from the store or whatever. The big chains are really like the only ones that deliver. And I think a lot of them are even outsourcing to like fucking DoorDash and
Pub and
shit.
shit. Yeah.
And not all those guys have like a pizza warming bag that took decades to develop. So that just seems like a shitty experience for everyone involved.
We are living in the enshittification era
Yeah,
of
everything's getting
humanity.
worse and more expensive.
Dark Ages 2, the sequel.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to. Can we? I was gonna say, can we get another plague? And I remember what happened 6 years ago.
Have we forgotten about the diarrhea lettuce
Oh
that's
yeah,
happening right
diarrhea
now?
lettuce. Don't eat. Taco Bell says they got rid of all the lettuce, which wasn't their fault. It's Taylor Farms. Don't buy Taylor Farms lettuce. But also just maybe avoid lettuce for a month. You were already doing that anyway.
Fiber, what's that?
The thing I get in my fucking orange drink container. That's what.
Oh yeah, something I never really brought up, but like when the thralls were bringing Kirk and crew their food, it didn't appear like they actually brought them any food.
Yeah, it was just like trays with some like food holders.
Like they brought like a carafe. They never showed what was in it.
Never
I'm
poured
guessing
anything.
production wise there was nothing in it. But
Yeah, probably not.
Star Trek has usually had like some dyed vegetables or jello squares or something.
Yeah, they've definitely shown food of some distinction before.
Guess they spent too much money on the
There
costumes.
was a lot of costumes and sets for this episode. I have the note make out slap written here, and I forget exactly what happened to make me write that.
I mean, Kirk probably made out with a chick and then. Oh wait, when Kirk is trying to talk to Shauna again,
Mm-hmm.
He kisses her and then punches her in the face to knock her out so he can escape the cell.
That's right. Yeah, the old make out slap. Um,
Like he bops her right in the face.
yeah, just pow, right in the kisser.
Um, yeah, then he takes her key that was stuffed into her pocketless pants.
Yeah, her very tight pocketless pants, and uses it to spring Uhura and Chekhov from the Huskow.
Yeah.
They all run out to the courtyard, and that's kind of where Kirk's plan ends because they're immediately accosted by Galt and everybody.
Yeah, I think they get agonized again
Yeah,
for their trouble.
I think they do. I think this is around the time the Enterprise finally shows up. They were chasing some mysterious energy signature.
Yeah. They show up and immediately get disabled by the godlike aliens of this planet.
Yeah.
As happens to the Enterprise so often.
But for some reason, they're also like able to communicate to Kirk, and he doesn't need a communicator. He can just yell, and they can hear him.
I assume they're doing it psionically.
Yeah, they don't really get into the hows or whys of that.
Yeah. I think he essentially goads them into like teleporting him to them because he's like, well, why don't you show yourselves? And they're like, we don't need to. He's like, I'm not a threat.
Hey, what are you, a bunch of
And they're
chickens?
like, yeah. They're very easily manipulated.
Super
these brains.
Yeah, these gambling addict brains. So yeah, Kirk goads the providers into teleporting him down, I believe, with the talk of gambling. So he gets teleported. It turns out he's like thousands of meters below the surface of the planet or whatever, in a cave with a matte painting that looks exactly like the one from the rock monster episode.
Devil in the Dark.
Devil in the Dark, yes. And there on the table in front of him are 3 color-coded light-up brains.
One for each color of collar.
One for each color. Green, red, and the other one.
And I believe I remarked when the episode was on that it's basically like Big Mountain from Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, almost exactly. Like, if I had a nickel for everything I've seen with a fucking brain in a jar. They
all have very annoying voices too.
Yeah, they're fucking exactly how you'd expect somebody who's been a brain for thousands of years. Just super annoying and like, oh man, we're so much better than you. And Kirk is like, you're not any better than me. You don't teach people how to do anything. You just watch them fight and gamble on it. You guys suck.
Yeah, I forget what their justification was, but they're like, yeah, so it turns out having gladiator battles is like the only thing that entertains us. So
Yeah.
we structured our entire society around that.
I think their excuse is like, we provide for them. We give them everything they need. And in exchange, we get to watch them fight. And Kirk tells them that that is correctly lame and presents a gamble to them where if he and his crew can win, then everyone goes free. And if not, then he can keep all of them, including everyone on the Enterprise.
Yeah, I mean, this is so obviously like it's really dumb on their part to accept this wager, but they're like Fred Flintstone when it comes to gambling, and they just can't resist a bet.
They do make the one condition that I'm surprised Kirk agreed to, but he's Captain Kirk. He's like, okay, we agree, but you got to fight 3v1.
Yeah, and then they add more rules on top of that once he starts the fight.
Yeah, and then they add a bunch of bullshit about where he can stand in the fight that I don't think they really enforce. But yeah, so Kirk agrees to a 3v1 for the fate of the entire Enterprise. They go back up to the start. He's given the fishhook weapon thing, and he starts in the middle of the Triskelion, and he's got guy who assaulted Uhura, the big caveman looking guy, and brand
new,
who
looks like Caveman Patrick. Yeah,
Caveman Patrick, and then a different character that we haven't seen before that looks like one of those aliens from the Who Done It Spock's Dad episode.
In the credits, he's just listed as Andorian Thrall.
Andorian. Okay, that's right. I was like, I know there's a name for those guys because we've seen them enough. And then, yeah, like you were saying, the brains rattle off a bunch of rules. They say that it's a fight to the death. If you don't kill a guy, then we get to sub in a brand new guy, which is fucking horseshit. And also you lose your weapon if you step on the wrong color of the floor or something. I don't think they ever enforce that one, but they make a point to say it.
Yeah, if this were a FIFA match, Kirk would have been like red carded several times.
Several times. He's just kind of all over the place.
He's literally rolling all over the place.
Yeah. The brains do manage to get a video feed on screen for the Enterprise so they can watch, because aliens can do that, except for, when they can't.
I feel like the Telosians would murk these guys, though.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Like, they still had their physical bodies.
Yeah, they can't be
even
that
though they had the same deal of... The Telosians still had their physical bodies, even though, they had the same kind of origin story of, yeah, we hyper-evolved to be, like, big brains, and now we have to live vicariously through others.
It's the only way we can get off.
At least they were able to, like, conjure illusions and shit.
Yeah, these guys, like, they can teleport you, but that's about it seems.
You can teleport you and they can turn off your ships, I guess.
So yeah, with that, Kirk gets into a pretty long 3v1 fight. He does a good job. He pretty sure he kills the Andorian, or maybe he gets him to throw his spear at Caveman Patrick. I forget.
A lot of guys die by accident, I feel like.
Yeah, at least two of them die.
Friendly fire.
Seemingly by accident or friendly fire. One of them gets injured and then is subbed out for Shauna. So it's 1v1 with Kirk versus Shauna at the end.
Yeah, and then she surrenders, because I guess you're allowed to do that.
You're allowed to do that in a fight to the death, which they were very specific about.
You're not allowed to kill Shauna.
Yeah, no, we can't kill Shauna. So yeah, eventually Kirk pins Shauna and she surrenders. And that means that Kirk wins.
So, kind of off topic, but there was a Batman comic where it was like a prequel thing when he's training with the League of Shadows or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they have him training in a fight pit. And it's all fights. It's the same rules of, like, if you don't kill the guy, he gets subbed in with another guy. And because he's Batman, he refuses to kill anyone. So he's in the fight pit fighting for days because he refuses to kill anyone. And eventually, they all give up because he's beaten and broken them so badly that nobody wants to fight him anymore.
Yeah, he's fucking like paralyzed every single one, and they're like, shit, we're out of guys.
Like, no one wants to get back in the pit with him.
That's Batman, all right.
And like the whole point was like, no, Bruce, you'll have to kill someone eventually.
Gotta
And he's like, no, I'm not.
No, I ain't like that pussy Superman. I don't have to kill nobody ever.
But anyway, that's what that made me think of.
That's funny. That's good. That's good fucking good writing right there for Batman. So yeah, Kirk wins. He reminds the brains of their promise to not only let them free, but also educate all the thralls and build a self-governing society and promises that'll be way more interesting than fucking fight gambling, which is a lie.
And
but
much like the Telosians, we're just trusting them to hold to their word.
yeah, I don't think
on that.
anyone's coming to check up on them.
Like, all right, man, what are you going to do if they decide not to do that? You going to send another ship there?
Yes, I'm gonna
They're just
kick
turn
their
it
ass
off.
again.
Like, I think they were just kicking Kirk off the planet because he's more trouble than he's worth.
Yeah, I would tell Kirk whatever he wants to get the fuck off my planet. But yeah, Shauna doesn't want him to
The next
leave.
episode.
Yeah. Shauna doesn't want him to leave. He's like, nah, you got to learn to be a fucking space captain. I'll see you one day. Plants a kiss on her, teleports the fuck out of there.
Yeah, it ends with her looking up to the sky going, I'll never forget you.
And then, like so many things, I'm guessing Shauna is never seen again.
Also, the vampire guy is very wistfully looking up at the sky, too. Like, he didn't do any of this shit.
I know, like, he wasn't, like, pretty responsible for a lot of this. Yeah, you're a slave too, but you're still pretty responsible.
He was definitely complicit in things.
Oh, yeah. Just because it meant he didn't have to do any fight pitting.
Yeah, that's basically the episode.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Sorry.
It there sure was a lot. It was there was alien, there was women, there was makeouts, there was gambling. What more could you want from modern television?
Like I said, this is a more like, I feel like this is a crowd pleaser episode. This had like all of the sci-fi tropes that people were expecting.
That's like it's got
of the era.
Little bits and pieces of previous episodes all rolled into one amalgam.
Like, there's not really a lot of like philosophical substance there other than like slavery bad.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing that Kirk has done before, which is you need to educate people and they need to work hard because working is its own reward. And also gambling and slavery bad.
Yeah, I guess it's also an anti-gambling episode, sort of, kind of.
A little bit.
Gambling is cool when you use it to like make a deal with the devil, I guess.
Yeah, that's the only time it's cool. Not when you're like betting on fights.
You think Kirk would have won that golden fiddle?
Oh. Has Kirk ever been shown to play a musical instrument of any kind?
You know, I'm not sure. I don't think so. I know Picard has his little flute.
I was going to say, Picard can play the flute. I know that much. I assume Sisko can play bass. I don't know what Kirk can do.
I thought Spock had an instrument too. Like a weird Vulcan instrument that he could play.
Maybe. I feel like maybe we've seen one in his quarters.
Uhura had her like harp thing.
Yeah, she had her harp thing and she could sing.
I would 100% that Scotty can canonically play bagpipes, but James Doohan cannot.
Yeah, I'd believe that. I feel like
Yeah, I don't think.
Was there an episode where like George Takei was playing an instrument or something while Uhura was singing?
I don't recall.
Yeah, I feel like there was something.
It might have been during Charlie X.
Could have been. And I know I'm sure McCoy can play the banjo.
I mean, you get enough mint juleps in him.
You know, mint juleps
He'll
and
get off the
anybody can play a
washboard.
banjo. At least a washboard. Maybe a kazoo.
That good old Mountain Dew.
But yeah, no, I think Kirk would suck at the playing music part, but would bullshit his way out of it somehow.
He would tell Satan that it's a genre of music that he just doesn't understand yet.
Yeah, no, it's trust me, you may not have heard it, but your kid's gonna love it.
It's the Z chord, Satan. You never heard of it? You've been down under a rock for too long?
You wouldn't. Guitar for Kirk and a harp for Spock, and everybody goes wild. How you doing, McStuck? So yeah, I think that brings us to our second episode.
The Gangsters of Triskelion.
The Gangsters of Triskelion.
This one is a piece of the action.
Piece of the action.
Let's see if I can get the cast list of this one up on my phone. Because we do actually have quite a few guest stars on this one.
Yeah, this was actually again like a very expensive looking episode. Lots of
kind
sets,
of a period piece, but not really.
Yeah, I had a nickel for every kind of period piece.
So our major crew characters are going to be Spock and Kirk. McCoy is there briefly. Scotty is there briefly. I don't think we see Sulu or Uhura that much, really.
Yeah, I feel like Sulu showed up for a second in the last episode, but maybe not. But yeah, we don't see either of them in this one.
Yeah. And for our guest stars, we have Bella Oxmix,
Yeah,
the gang boss.
Not spelled at all how you would think.
Jojo Krako, my favorite Kirby boss.
Yeah, Jojo Krako.
Then they have like their lieutenants who have names, but I don't care.
They're goons. Classical goons, not new age goons.
Yeah. Then we have a kid, a young child.
Little gingery, that child. Got red hair and freckles.
I guess there was like one other major mob boss, but I don't really care about him. Yeah, he just shows up at the end.
Yeah, he shows up right at the end. He looks like an old man. I feel like maybe we saw him in the Landrew episode.
I would not be surprised if they reused, extras.
Yeah.
For these period piece episodes. So to get into our very back of the box synopsis, this is a Chicago gangster episode.
Yeah.
So the Enterprise lands on a planet that is populated by a race that has styled themselves after Chicago gangsters of the 1920s. They have apparently the last spaceship here was here before the Prime Directive was a thing, and they left behind a book about Chicago gangsters, and now all of society is just like that. What the episode boils down to is Kirk and crew have to negotiate mob style with a bunch of gangsters to get the planet back into a working order, and by the end of it, they have basically turned the Federation into a crime syndicate. The end.
The end. Kirk gets to wear a 3-piece suit. It probably wasn't 3-piece.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
there's a lot of hijinks in there, but yeah.
So much hijinks. Yeah, it starts off, so I know you're not in the best position to look this up, but they mentioned the ship the Horizon, which I swear is one I heard before.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
But yeah,
keep going.
For whatever reason, the Horizon left a planet and they're going to check it out. I think they sent out a distress signal or something. Don't know, doesn't really matter. They get to the planet, they talk to a guy who refers to himself as Boss. And he says he wants to talk to Kirk about some stuff down on the planet.
Yeah, I think they agree to beam, like he gives them directions to a street address.
Yeah, like go beam down to this place outside.
Like they don't know what beaming down means or what any of the Enterprise's like advanced technology is. They're just like, yeah, show up on the street or whatever.
Yeah, but they can somehow communicate with a fucking spaceship.
It's a bit weird because throughout the episode they are communicating to the Enterprise through like radios and phone lines.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess if you're just transmitting out a signal, you don't need to know that it's going to a spaceship, but and I mean they knew what the horizon was like. So we learned
And they knew those guys were from space.
Yeah, they knew those guys were from space, but also those guys were 100 years ago, so they couldn't have known any of them personally.
Yeah, like they described this race of people who are humanoid, I guess, but they describe them as being very imitative and impressionable.
Yeah. Just an awful lot like humans, if we're being honest.
Like they're very intelligent and can adapt very quickly to things, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, within 100 years, you can turn your fucking city into Chicago. So yeah, they
shot on location in Chicago.
Shot on location. They agree to beam down. I think before that they do say like oh yeah, we got a distress signal last week, and they're like, oh, the horizon left 100 years ago, and it's like, oh well, this place is really far out, so nobody really comes out here. So I don't know if there's time dilation or anything like that. Doesn't really matter, but basically nobody's been here in 100 years, and 100 years ago there was a spaceship. They go to beam down. It's Kirk, Spock, and it's just Kirk and Spock, isn't it?
I think he brings McCoy.
Does he bring McCoy? Oh yeah, he does bring McCoy. You're right.
Yeah.
They beam down. Lieutenant Kyle, not the one who beams them down, which
it was a kind of funny gag because Spock and McCoy like show up on the bridge right out of the elevator, and Kirk just immediately turns them around to go back down.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're going on a trip, boys.
Come on, it's a boys' trip. I know a place.
I know a place.
Speakeasy.
So yeah, they teleport down and just like fucking. I realized that the guy working the controls probably does not come from a planet with roads and cars from the 20s, but he just teleports them right in the middle of the fucking street. They almost get hit by a car fucking immediately. Got another city on the edge of forever.
You do have to remember that pedestrians used to have the right of way. The streets used to be for the people, Andrew.
Yeah, you're right. The streets did used to be for the people, and we had to invent this thing called jaywalking to get them the fuck out of our streets so that our cars could go.
Yeah, I think the first thing they notice, aside from all the pinstripe suits, is that everyone has a gun.
Everyone has a gun, and not just a gun, a Tommy gun, the coolest gun there ever was.
All the ladies have like handguns strapped to their thighs.
Pistols strapped to their thighs.
But like, I guess culturally everyone has a gun, and it's the sort of joke like a European would make about Americans.
Yeah, it's oh wow, everybody's got a gun. That's weird.
Like this is a joke you'd see in like Idiocracy.
Yeah. Remember when they picked Crocs as the shoes for Idiocracy because they were so fucking stupid looking?
I didn't remember that Crocs existed back then.
They technically did, but they weren't popular at all. The reason they picked them is because they're like, I need something that looks stupid and futuristic that nobody wears. And they picked Crocs.
Well, get futuristic.
It was fucking perfect at the time. And then Crocs got popular because they're cheap, but now Crocs cost like $40 and everything sucks.
I mean, I'll give it to Crocs that they are comfortable and easy to wear.
I've never actually worn Crocs before. I'm kind of afraid. I don't know if I can handle liking Crocs.
I kind of think you would like Crocs.
Fuck. Man, you can't just say that to me on my podcast.
I'm just saying, from what I know of you and your desire for material comfort, Crocs would probably suit that.
Yeah. Crocs makes actual shoes? Well, then they're not Crocs anymore. The whole point is that they look like a fucking weird plastic clog. Although I think I did see a thing on the Today Show the other day that they make like just regular fucking thong sandals. That was, again, weird. That's not what Crocs are for.
They're like the weird hybrid between like open and closed toe shoes.
Yeah, they got a bunch of holes in them, and I know there's like a cottage industry for making little doodads to hook onto your Crocs.
I believe they called it gibbets.
Oh, I don't. We need to stop naming things. We don't need names for the thing you put on your Crocs.
Which I think might be the same name for the Jack in the Box Labubus.
The Jibbies, yeah, you might be correct. That's probably where they got that from.
Well, I think that's like a portmanteau of Chibi and Jack.
It could be. They look a little bit like Labubu, and I was trying to like put Jack like Jabubu or whatever, but every time I say it, it feels wrong.
Yeah, Jabubu sounds like a racial slur.
It does, doesn't it? Anyway, back to the most racially diverse culture of all, 1920 Chicago.
The men in this episode were quite swarthy.
They were. They actually quite a lot of melanin. You know, more than you'd think, but less than you'd hope. But yeah,
It was like the Mediterranean sort of swarthy.
yeah,
I think.
exactly.
Very Italian, Sicilian.
Yeah. So Kirk and Spock get accosted by men in Tommy guns and tell them to follow. They don't really take the guys seriously, and it's a shame that nobody even fires those guns like once ever, I think.
No, like they had a drive-by shooting.
Oh yeah, there's a drive-by shooting just before they leave. That's right. Yeah, just they're
It's a shame that Kirk never shoots anyone with them.
I know, right? Unlike fucking Patrick
Picard.
Stewart and Picard. So yeah, there's a 20s gangland style shooting. Some of the guys die, some of them live. They take Kirk and Spock and McCoy to the boss, Bella Oxmix.
Boss. This guy has like the fucking Kingpin coat on. He just looks so top heavy.
It's funny because like he wears glasses a lot in this scene, and he looks way less intimidating with the glasses. He looks like the dad from American Pie when he's wearing the glasses. But
he's got a great voice though.
Yeah, he sounds like a fucking old timey mobster guy.
I think he might have been like a famous actor, Anthony Caruso. Anthony Caruso, known for playing his villains and gangsters.
Oh, they went all out.
Yeah, I think he's like a classic film noir actor.
That explains why he gets to be the big boss at the end. But yeah, they get shuffled up to Bella's office. He tells them, hey, I'm working in this gangland. I want to run the place. You guys are from space, so you got weapons. Give me the weapons, bada bing.
I think like Kirk is like, whoa, hey, we came here to learn about the Horizon. What happened to the Horizon? That was the deal. And Bella's like, nah.
Yeah, just nah. Bella very much the kind of guy to promise anything just to get you in the room and then put a gun in your face and tell you what to do. Surprisingly effective in Gangland, as it turns out.
It's something that happens several times in this episode.
To the same guy over and over. It's like he doesn't learn.
I think while Bella's talking to them, he's like, yeah, we need to unify this planet, and I should be the one in charge.
And I should be the unifying, yeah. Obviously.
And Spock is like, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if we want it to be this guy, but,
yeah.
The planet does need to be unified.
Unification is
if they're all run by gangsters.
I think Kirk or Spock or somebody also notices the Chicago gangs of the 1920s book that's like enshrined like a holy fucking Bible.
Mm-hmm. I guess everybody's got a copy of this book too.
Yeah, everybody's got a copy in their office. Published in the far off year of 1992. Yeah,
during the eugenics wars even.
Yeah. God, so old. That was like 100 years ago. So yeah, they kind of get roped into this thing. And I think that's when the mob guys tell him that Jojo Krakow was the one who did the hit on his guys.
Yeah.
And doesn't Bella like send them like, hey, go deal with Krakow for me or whatever?
I think he wants them to go do a hit on Krakow, and they refuse, so he imprisons them.
That's right. He locks them in the basement.
And then he takes their communicator and tries to talk to Scotty, and Scotty's like, what the fuck is a heater?
Yeah, get us some of them fancy heaters. They keep calling guns heaters.
And Scotty's like, I only know Scottish slang from the 19th century. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So yeah, he's trying to like ransom Kirk, and Scotty can barely understand him. And for whatever reason, they can't transport him out of this situation. But that's all right. Kirk's got an idea. So
They lock him in the basement with all the pinball machines.
yeah, all the pinball machines that might have just been facades. I don't know if I saw any glass on those pinball machines.
Maybe pinball machines didn't used to have glass.
Yeah, you just had to
It's
hear the
open.
ball. But yeah, they're down there, and some of the mobster boys are, of course, playing cards because that's what you do when you're not putting out hits. You're playing cards.
Using the fakest money I've ever seen in my life.
It's so big and fake, and I wouldn't be surprised if at the time that was like a necessity. Like, you got to make sure that money that you're using looks super not real, so that nobody tries to steal it and use it.
I guess counterfeiting was a lot easier back then.
It was a lot easier when they didn't have all the fucking like invisible ink and extra watermark bullshit that we have today.
When you didn't have a digital George Washington on the bill turning towards you and saying, I'm real.
Or, you could be like Canada and half of your money is just literally plastic.
I mean, eventually, I think the U.S. government's going to pull a PlayStation and make all money digital.
It says on the money that they can't do that, which is why you're probably right. They're going to do exactly that.
And then the police will be allowed to come into your house to confiscate your physical bills.
Yeah, just take all of your fucking money. What money? I didn't see no money. So yeah, Kirk wants to get out of here. He sees the guys playing cards, and he comes up with an idea, and he just tells Spock and McCoy to go along with it. So he sits down at the table, and he's like, you guys are playing poker? That's a fucking kid's game. I got a real man's game for you. It's a space game. It's called Fizbit.
Spock is like the worst improv partner in the world. He does not know how to yes and.
I would bet.
Like, he doesn't even know but wise.
Yeah, he's literally the opposite of what you should be doing. I'm very curious if there's a bit about this in Lower Decks or something.
Vulcans are just terrible at improv. It's their one weakness.
That's why we have him in our improv group, so we can make fun of him as a joke. So Kirk is pretending to teach the mobsters this game, going through the whole rigmarole.
I hope there's a Fizbin magic card. That would be so funny.
You know what? I bet there would be. I bet there is going to be a Fizbin magic card. Now, they would never, ever do this because it's mega fucking banned. But if they did and it was Scheherazade, that would be fantastic. For those of you unaware, Scheherazade is a magic card from the beginning of time that says, hey, stop playing this game of Magic, play another game of Magic, and the loser loses half their life in the real game. Incredibly funny, horrendous design. So it's been banned for basically ever, and they would never reprint it. But maybe they could this one time. It'd be funny.
How many quatloos is that one worth?
How many actually quite a bit, because it was only made 30 fucking years ago. And I did lie. They actually kind of did remake that card once. It was for an unset, a non-tournament legal set. Basically the exact same thing, but at that sub game, your health is 5. So it goes a lot quicker than a regular game of Magic.
You would think.
You would think. But yeah, there's no way they would redo that either, which is a shame because that'd be hilarious. So yeah, getting back to it, Kirk is teaching the guy this fake game, making up a bunch of shit like, oh man, you got 2 jacks, you got a squeeble, and if you can get one more jack, that's bad, except on Tuesdays when it's good. But if it's at night and you get a queen, and just spouting off all this bullshit, Spock just fucking almost blown his cover multiple times. Hey Spock, what are the odds of him getting a Squizmar? I've never calculated them, Captain.
He's honest, I guess.
He's at least honest. Eventually the coup de grace is he's dealing the final card to this mobster who's very excited to win this game that he's never heard of and doesn't understand. And Kirk drops the card on the ground. The mobster is like, I'll pick it up. Bends down to pick it up. What does Kirk do? Punch him in the face, steal his gun.
I think he flips the table too.
Yeah, he flips the whole table. It's really a fucking masterful gambit. Like, never let it be said that Kirk is not a man who can fucking trick a dumber man with a gun.
I think Spock at least picks up on the signal, and he Vulcan pinches one guy while he's distracted.
Yeah, he does nerve pinch a guy. Not the last nerve pinch in the episode, I believe. Spock actually does pull his weight in fights. McCoy, I don't recall, does a goddamn thing.
I think he punches out a guy during this scene.
I hope so.
But also, I don't want to make DeForest Kelly do physical stunts.
I'm not without a drink in his
He looks
hand.
very fragile.
Even at the time. He was a cowboy. He could do it. He fucking probably shot a guy on a horse.
Oh, he's the Wilhelm guy?
Yeah, he's the Wilhelm guy, exactly.
The man who shot Wilhelm? We all remember the legend of Wilhelm. Nobody remembers the man who shot him.
That's our new Netflix documentary, The Man Who Shot Wilhelm.
Surprisingly short documentary. We just show the movie.
We just show them the whole movie, highlight that one part, and then off we go.
I think they steal the Tommy guns.
Yeah, they steal the
guys and
Tommy guns.
Back to Oxmix.
Yeah. Do they, or do they go to Krakow? I forget.
No, I think they steal the clothes before they go after Krakow. Right?
Yeah, I think you're correct. No, I think looking at my notes here, I think they go to Krakow first. Because I think they determine that fucking Oxmix is a no-go and they should go try another guy. I didn't write down any of how that goes, but
they kind of go back and forth between these guys a lot, and I think it's a lot of padding the runtime.
It is, yeah. Eventually they end up at Krakow's place. I'm pretty sure it's just fucking some nerve pinches and punches to get in the door. And that's when
there's we should note that all of the mob bosses have a woman sitting on their desk, like a Hatsune Miku figurine.
Yeah, just sitting there, not doing anything, cleaning their nails, looking at their gun.
Just a personal desk lady.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a secretary.
Yeah, she's not taking notes and nothing.
I mean, I guess the guy, Krakow, gets his desk woman to sit on Kirk's lap for a bit.
Yeah.
And he's not into that. For once.
Yeah, for once. It's like, oh, you Chicago woman? Nah, I don't do that.
Hold on one sec.
Yep.
Their new status. I think the network.
Oh, good. I had you muted for most of that.
Okay.
Sounds like the internet's still shit in the bed.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Well, back to the action.
Back to the action. So they go to Krakow's office. Krakow somehow like sounds more like a fucking Chicago mobster than Oxmix does.
This guy sounds like he eats cigars.
Oh boy, does he.
Actually, I think there might be like a Looney Tunes character that sounds just like him
Yeah.
and looks just like him.
Yeah, he's like kind of balding. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But he's much more willing to play ball with the Enterprise crew.
Yeah, I think he was trying to like cut a percentage with the Enterprise.
Yeah, as opposed to just like straight up lie to them and use them. He was like, yeah, we can work together and take out this other guy, and then I can have the place, and you can have a percentage or whatever.
But I think Kirk also refuses that because he doesn't wanna.
Yeah, he doesn't want to interfere any more than he has to, and he certainly doesn't want to run a planet. I forget exactly how the scene goes, but eventually they knock out the goons, and this is when Kirk is like, "Ah, you know what? Actually, take off your clothes."
When that happens, I guess so.
That's what I have in my notes. I might have missed some stuff in between. I forget.
Well, the point is, eventually they dress like Chicago gangsters, and it's the coolest thing ever.
It is the coolest thing ever. Fucking Spock, Leonard Nimoy, just always looking fantastic in a fucking suit. Man was born for it.
Like, what doesn't he look good in?
I know.
He looks great in a suit, in a cloak.
Probably look fine in a tunic or a poncho.
Maybe there's a reason they don't have him in like the harness whenever they do gladiator shit.
Yeah, you know
Maybe
what?
I don't look good shirtless.
I don't think I've ever seen a shirtless Nimoy, and that might be for the best.
He strikes me as one of those guys who has like a sunken chest.
Yeah, he almost certainly does. But you throw some clothes on him, he looks damn good.
Hell yeah. Also, Kirk's had a fuzzy hat like Jamiroquai.
Yeah, it's fucking like they both got like, I don't know the name of the style of hat. I'm not a fucking hat guy. But imagine the kind of hat you'd expect a fucking 20s gangster to wear. They're both wearing one, but Kirk's is fuzzy for some reason. Like, noticeably very fuzzy. Like Jamiroquai.
Yeah, I don't know if fuzzy hats were the style at the time.
Yeah, I feel like that was the only one, because I feel like none of the other guys were wearing a fuzzy hat, but maybe that's just because we didn't zoom in on them enough. Like, maybe it's fucking from his personal hat collection. I don't know. It stood out though. Yeah, fedora. Thank you, McStuck. That's it. Sure looked like a fedora, and I'm sure some asshole would tell me it's a trilby or whatever. I don't know hats.
A Stetson, 100 Stetsons.
There's a couple of bowlers I recognize. That wasn't it, but something like that. So yeah,
I'm looking up an actual synopsis of this. So after they escape, Spock and McCoy go back to the ship briefly.
That's right. Yeah, they managed to go back to the ship.
Back to the thing, and then Kirk goes to Krakow and then ends up getting captured by him because he's dumb.
Yeah, because he's just so fucking stupid.
Yeah, and then he gets locked in that room with the radio.
Oh yeah, and he has to fucking tinker with the radio to contact the Enterprise.
Yeah, well, he pulls out the copper wire to trick the guards.
How could I forget? Leave. Yeah. He pulls out the copper wire and stretches it across the doorway.
Like a junkie in a back alley, he strips the copper wire for his own purposes.
First thing he does is strip out the copper wire, makes a little tripwire, and then just yells to get the goons to run in on him.
Every time somebody steps across it.
Yeah. Makes a big old twang. They fucking crash into the wall. He like covers a guy in a blanket and punches the shit out of him.
The first guy is hilarious because like he straight up trips like under the bed of his prison, and the gun slides under the bed.
I wonder if that was improvised at all, because I think Kirk was like looking for the gun for a second, like, fuck, where is it?
I don't know. But yeah, it's a brief fight scene between two guys, and then Kirk is able to escape after that with like zero issues that he speaks of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's when
And then he shows back up in Axmix's office.
Yeah.
And that's when they take the suits.
That's right. They take it from Oxmix. That makes more sense. Yeah, don't they got like McCoy is back there, and he like sets them up with a gun, and they're stripping the guys for their clothes, and McCoy's basically holding them down. They're gonna go back to Krakow. I don't remember why.
They wanted to kidnap him.
That's right. They wanted to get him together. So
which is really dumb, because after this, they just have him call the mob bosses and have Scotty transport them.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Like they found a much better solution to this, and it didn't require anything, but whatever.
But the runtime, Andrew.
Yeah, we do need
the runtime.
We need this thing to fucking last for an hour.
And we need a reason. We need a reason for them to put on the suits.
We do need a reason for them to put on the suits. And the reason they put on the suits is so that they could go outside and steal a car.
Which Kirk does not know how to drive.
Kirk doesn't know how to drive, but you know, he figures out what the fuck a clutch is and how to drive it. I don't think he does so very well.
Does he though? Because it does that backfire thing like every second.
Hey, it's moving, ain't it? It got him from A to B. What, next you're going to tell me I can't drink a beer after working all day in my car?
That seems like it would be really awful for your engine to run it like that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I have no idea how a manual transmission works, but that seems like it's very bad for the car to run it in the wrong gear or not clutch or whatever. I don't know what was happening there.
Yeah, definitely a bad idea to not be in the correct gear for a long period of time.
Also, I guess this is just a period where people leave car keys in the car.
I wonder if it even had keys. I wonder if you literally just fucking press a button, pull a switch, and the car starts.
They did that bit where Kirk was trying to figure out the car, and he talked about putting the key in. He talked about needing a starter, and then Spock told him about the clutch.
Yeah.
Like, it's a joke that does not translate to our century or their century.
Yeah, it's we're a little too far removed from that style of car. It literally 100 years removed.
Yeah, we were saying it looked like a Buick, like a classic.
Yeah, the emblem sure looked like a Buick. I'm not 100% sure if that's what it was or even what it was intended to be. But it also had a hood ornament, so I'm not sure. I've never been a car guy, so.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't pay the kid that comes up in later with the hood ornament.
Yeah, exactly.
As is the style for Bart Simpsons of the era.
Little assholes. So yeah, they drive up to Krakow's place, and he's got some guards stationed outside now, so they can't get in. And they're trying to figure out what to do, and this little ginger kid comes up and is like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?"
It's like, you guys putting out a hit on Krakow.
Yeah, putting out a hit on Krakow. Like, what are you talking about, kid? He's like, I can help you get in there. You just got to give me a piece.
Piece of the action.
A piece of the action, just like in the title. So this little fucking kid who previously was just like wandering around the street swinging a knife, and that's just a normal thing in Chicago.
Kids are allowed to have guns, but they are allowed to have knives and to wildly swing them around at arm's length.
It's just so, fun for a child to swing a knife around. It's what else they got to have time to be a kid, damn it.
Having been a child myself, swinging a knife around is pretty fun.
It is pretty fucking cool, you're right.
Especially because your parents hate it.
Especially because people tell you not to do it. That's what makes it so fun.
They tell you not to do it, and there's nothing they can do about it if you choose not to put the knife down.
What are you going to do? Shoot me? So yeah,
yeah, I guess they make a deal with a kid, which I guess is just a blatant lie
yeah, no, it'll
because they
totally
never
get you a piece
give
of the
him a piece
action,
of the
kid.
action. But yeah, he runs up to the guards and starts swinging his knife around, and they don't react like he's trying to hurt them at all. It's just like, what a cute kid.
They're like,
And then he
look.
pretends to hurt himself like a soccer player,
Yeah,
and
he
that distracts them enough for Kirk and Spock to get close.
goes down like Messi. I don't actually know anything about soccer, whether or not Messi takes dives. Please don't kill me. But yeah, the kid goes down and starts screaming for his dad, and that's when Kirk shows up and is like, hey, what did they do to you? And I feel like this is the first time where Kirk really puts on the accent. He starts really getting into it.
Yeah, Kirk becomes a different man in this episode.
Yeah. So the kid, much better improv partner than Spock, manages to get them close enough to where they can just immediately punch and or nerve pinch the door guys, and then they're able to get into the office just fine.
Yeah, Spock takes out his guy really quickly. Kirk kind of takes a while.
Yeah, Kirk wants to enjoy it. He wants to savor it, you know? He's got this new he's a new person. He's got this new clothes, he's got this new son. Let him enjoy
Also,
it.
they leave the Tommy guns in the car
Yeah, that was fucking
for
stupid.
some reason. I mean, they had their phasers on them, which immediately get taken from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they confront Krakow, and I think they just have Scotty beam him up after they hand him the phone.
Yeah, isn't it like he's talking to Scotty and he's like, yeah, there's this guy, he's like 10 feet in front of me, and I want you to give it to him. You know what I mean? Being real coy about it. But they
For some reason.
Yeah, they convince Krakow that they're gonna give him everything he wants. And then they stealthily teleport him up to the ship so that he can see it.
Yeah, I guess it's an intimidation tactic.
Yeah.
Or something.
And he sees...
Maybe that's why they needed to transport Krakow. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think at this point they go back to Oxmix and then they teleport Krakow down so they're all in the room together.
Yeah, they have Oxmix call every other mob boss and have Scotty teleport them to the same room.
Uh-huh.
Which I didn't know the transporter could like transport from location to location. I thought it was just shipping back.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe that's what they did and they're just shortening it, but
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that they can just like call somebody, and I guess it's a spaceship, but they can trace the call and get the exact location of where the person is to teleport them, when previously Kirk needed to be specific about like a guy standing 10 feet in front of me.
Like, I think they kind of explain the rules of transportation a little more in like future Trek, because there's a whole bit in the like reboot movies where Chekhov is like trying to transport people who are moving, and that is more difficult than just somebody who's standing still.
Yeah, it makes sense. Especially if it's the whole like copying their atoms and putting it in another place.
Like, I think there's like, if I want to be headcanoning about it, having exact coordinates or a communication device makes transporting much, much, much safer than just picking someone up.
Yeah, than just fucking grabbing somebody and hoping you got the right area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
But anyway, they don't care about these mobsters, so just like get whoever's on the other side of that phone.
Yeah, Scotty's a fucking pro. So next thing we know, we got a room full of mobsters. Kirk is telling them that they're gonna start a syndicate. The Federation is gonna run this joint, and Oxmix is gonna
Kirk
be
goes
number
full
one.
Gangster mode.
Yeah, he full on gangster mode. He's leaning into the voice. He's picked up all the vernacular.
He becomes the Godfather Bugs Bunny from the Six Flags T-shirt.
Exactly. So yeah, he's telling them like who's gonna run what and who's gonna be in charge, and y'all are gonna run under the Federation, and they want a 40% cut.
And everybody's like, 40%? That's Oh, yeah, they do briefly have this thing where they, like, 12 angry men their way out of not believing that the Enterprise is dangerous. And then
Yeah.
Kirk's like, hey, fire a phaser into that entire street, Enterprise, and knock everyone out. And then everybody kind of calms down after that.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit. Because like the Krakow's like, nah, I went to the ship. It's crazy. And they're like, oh, well, how many people did you see? I only saw 3. Kirk's like, nah, there's like 400. And he's like, well, I only saw 3. I don't know. This guy's fucking making up a bunch of shit. So yeah, Kirk has to.
And then there was a gang war out in the streets between Krakow's guys and Oxmix's, and then Kirk just pacifies him instantly.
Yeah, Kirk just fucking, which is kind of weird that the spaceship has like stun mode on its phasers, but whatever.
That seems some SWAT level technology, like the fucking noise gun or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like, I thought this was
The
a science
Havana gun.
vessel. Yeah. Every starship's got a Havana gun. It's the most ethical thing, obviously.
Yeah, so Kirk gave every single gangster on that street Havana syndrome,
Yeah.
and everyone complies with his 40% cut idea.
Yeah, everyone in the room is like, yeah, no, 40% sounds great. Yeah, Kirk tells them that that's how it's going to be. They transport back up to the Enterprise, and then
It's funny because I think Oxmix is like, "Hey, you should be in charge. You got the biggest dick here." Kirk's like, no.
I got bigger fish to fry than this fucking place.
Use mugs."
Use mugs. The Ahitas.
And then our ending gag is McCoy going, I might have left my communicator back there.
Yeah.
And Kirk's like, oh, that's bad.
That's really bad, but we're not going to actually do anything about it.
They're very good at reverse engineering. They might want a piece of our action in a few years.
They might want a piece of our action.
And that's the ending.
And then it literally just cuts the credits.
I assume they went back and grabbed it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's unclear. Maybe some space gangsters will show up later. Who knows?
And also, that kid never got paid anything.
Yeah, that kid never got his cut of the action. I'd be pissed. I'd chase Kirk to the ends of the galaxy for my piece of the action.
I think Spock briefly does go like, so how do you think your boss is going to feel about you negotiating a crime syndicate? What are you going to do with that 40%, Kirk?
Yeah, Kirk
Because he also said, we'll be coming back every year to collect our cut.
Yeah, we'll be coming back every year to collect our 40%. And Spock's like, how the fuck are you going to do that? And Kirk's like, I'll figure it out.
It'll work out.
It'll all work out.
I think Kirk said something along the lines of like, yeah, we'll just put it into like a, I don't know, socialist charity fund or something.
Yeah, it was like, we'll put it in some sort of fund and use it to build back up the planet or whatever. Some bullshit.
So I had a thought, like, what other books could they have left behind that would have been hilarious? Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings would have been great. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Anything by Ayn Rand.
I mean, we know if they had left behind like Roman legionaries because Fallout.
Yeah, you just get fucking that part of Fallout New Vegas. It would have been funny if they left like
also,
an OSHA
we will be
handbook.
seeing Nazi Planet eventually.
Yeah, Nazi Planet. That's one of the things that is difficult to avoid. I don't know why there's a Nazi planet, but I know there's a Nazi planet.
You'll find out, and it's dumber than you think.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that.
What other 21st civilizations would it be very funny for an entire species to model themselves after?
The Hatfields and the McCoys. Fucking Appalachian mountain rivalry would have been pretty cool.
You know, if they did it today, they could do it on Star Trek, because that's exactly what Galaxy Quest is.
Yeah. Literally is the plot of Galaxy Quest. You're right.
Chicago gangsters. There is also the Cowboy Planet episode, but that's kind of a different thing.
Not exactly a book, but it'd be funny if they left a copy of Elden Ring.
I don't want a planet of dung eaters.
It's not a planet of dung eaters, it's just the one. But he's really passionate about it.
If they left behind Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh god, it'd just be an autistic planet. That's weaponized autism.
I mean, is this not like an autistic planet? Where everyone's just hyperfixated on the same thing?
Hyperfixated on the same thing. Fuck, you might be right.
The Thomas the Tank Engine planet.
Oh man, it's the Predator's paradise. It's the most advanced people ever.
Can you think of anything philosophical from this episode other than the Prime Directive?
Central government is good. Children should be allowed to play with knives. Women should have jobs.
And guns.
And guns. We should be able to do a little gambling at work.
Yeah, I'm wondering how the government in this episode works, because like when they talked to Oxmix and they told him like government, he's like, "There's no government. I just run the territory."
I just run, yeah, but like,
is it like a feudal system?
I kind of, because wasn't that one lady complaining about the streetlights and stuff? Like that's his deal, that's his thing.
Yeah, she was talking about she pays her like
her protection,
her percentage.
Yeah, her percentage.
Yeah, which is basically just taxes.
It's just taxes.
So, I guess it's just a feudal system.
Yeah. Like a feudal barter system.
A planet of weebs would be very funny if they were all samurai.
Oh god, that would be funny.
But they all looked like Italian mobsters.
They're all Italian mobster weebs.
I guess we can rank it.
Yeah, I think it's ranking time. So let's start with the Gamesters of Triskelion.
I cannot see the list, so you might have to be the one to propose where it goes.
Okay, so let's see.
To me, it's a middle of the pack.
That's what I'm thinking. I think let's start with Return of the Archons, above or below that.
The Archons. I feel like that episode was a little more poignant in its messaging.
That's what I'm thinking too. Let's move down the list a little bit more. Thinking above or below Operation Annihilate.
I feel like Operation Annihilate had better acting performances.
Yeah.
From Spock.
Yeah, same with the Deadly Years. Like
this one had good fights. Sort of.
Yeah. Thinking above or below.
Not really, even though. Like those halberds, they were afraid to hit with those tips.
They were definitely
they knew the props would break.
Definitely told by the prop guys, hey, fucking be careful with these. We only have so many.
Hit them with the middle part and nothing else.
How do you feel about above or below the apple?
I'm going to say above.
Okay. Better than the apple. Do we think better than Metamorphosis?
Teaching an Alien Love, I think Gosh.
I mean, from like a building up society standpoint, there's definitely more promised and displayed.
Yeah.
Okay. Put it above the apple, below metamorphosis.
Yeah. Okay.
The Gamesters of Triskelion. And then, of course, we got a piece of the action.
Ace at A action.
Is it the best episode? No. Is it the most fun episode? No, but it's up there.
It is up there with the fun episodes.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I enjoy it more than Trouble with Tribbles.
I was looking at Trouble with Tribbles, and I'm thinking above or below Arena.
Ooh. Arena's so classic, though.
Arena is classic. It's got better fights, too.
Yeah.
I could put it below.
I feel like Arena really showcases Kirk's wit more. Like, sorry, the radio tripwire is not doing it for me.
I mean, he also tricks them into thinking he's a godlike entity. But no, I agree. I think Arena is a better showcase of Kirk's all-around prowess.
I mean, I guess this one had Fizbin.
Did have Fizbin. That was a lot of fun.
Is Kirk kind of the modern Odysseus with his trickstery nature?
You know what? I think you may be onto something.
The honorable trickster.
His never-ending journey, his honorable trickster nature, his lovable...
His ship whom he loves like a woman.
His ship whom he loves like a woman. His lovable non-human cast members.
He's got a little bit of Greek hero in him.
A little
Definitely.
bit. So below Arena, above Trouble with Tribbles?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Base City action.
Ace at A action.
All right. Are you able to...
Pretty good episodes, I guess.
Yeah. We've definitely had quite a few worse.
Let's see. See if I can look up what's next on my crippled phone.
Yes, your poor, overworked phone.
Let's see. The next would be the immunity syndrome.
Yeah. I was looking at those last night.
Immunity syndrome. This is one I don't remember, so that'll be interesting. And then the one after that, A Private Little War, which is one I do remember.
Ooh.
And that one has Klingons, and it's one of my favorite episodes.
Ooh, Klingons. Okay. Hopefully no more proxy war bullshit.
That's exactly what it's about.
God damn it.
It's a Vietnam
It's a Vietnam
episode.
allegory? Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh shit, my notebook is almost empty. Thing's not going to make it too many more
damn.
episodes.
Or just take fewer notes. I don't know.
Nah. As you saw with the fucking piece of the action, I was a little light on notes that time. I was just so enthralled is the problem.
I feel like the episode we've most been enthralled by was probably the submarine one? Balance of Terror.
Yeah. Yeah, Balance of Terror just had like everything that was going on was interesting. And it's not like it was visually interesting, it was just writing. The acting.
As I don't know, it feels like lately they're padding runtime a lot. Like they got a TV hour and they got to fill it somehow, and they just don't have enough there.
Sounds like the writers had 1.5 seasons of ideas, and now they're just kind of like, fuck.
And also, I guess they're reusing sets a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah, doing their best to reuse assets that they got.
Well, it's kind of funny because this goes on even into TNG and Deep Space Nine, but like the bottle episodes are usually the best ones, the ones that are just on the ship.
Yeah, the ones that are on the ship with very little scene transition.
But I think to some extent the low budget works in their favor because they have to be more creative, I suppose.
Yeah.
Do we have a third thing really? Yeah. Watch Fallout a little bit.
We watched a little bit of Fallout. A little bit of slavery in that. A little bit of gambling.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the mind control things in Fallout work because it didn't seem like it was torturing those people into behaving properly. It was just rewiring them.
Yeah, just changing how their brain works. I mean, maybe we'll have somebody take it off and be like, "Oh my god, it was hell."
Or we'll have them take it off and they'll go, "Oh my god, put it back on."
Yeah. I need it.
We've been playing Esoteric Ebb. That's an interesting disco-like.
It is, yeah, that's the best disco-like I've played.
Yeah, Disco Elysium is a game that has many vying for the throne. Many challengers.
It's a real shame because what should have been the obvious contender is kind of sucks for many a reason.
Are we talking about the one that's made by the company that owns Disco Elysium?
Yes, that is the one. The Zero Parades.
Yeah. Folks, don't buy that one. Because the original team is not on it.
It is not. It was basically stolen by a couple of fucking asshole money guys.
Yes, the Zaum, the company that made Disco Elysium, is being skinwalked right now. Yeah. So,
which is a shame because like they got some people that got laid off, and that sucks. But like, you got to choose what you're willing to look past.
I did hear one criticism of the game that was separate from the money situation, and it's that you play as a spy, but you're also expected to tell the truth about your political inclinations, which seems silly.
That is weird.
Like, when you say, "No, I'm a communist," the game does not give you an option to lie about your political affiliations. It just takes you at your word.
See, now, like, if you could just change it on the fly, I could see that. But if it's asking you to stick to that and to hold to it, yeah, that kind of sucks.
Because, yeah, that's a weird bit of writing there, but I don't know. Harry can get away with it.
Harry Dubois can fucking get away with anything. And the cleric,
How do you feel about how do you feel about the cleric versus Harry? He's definitely less pathetic as a character.
Yeah,
he's pathetic in his own ways.
He's definitely got a lot less, and maybe that's just because I'm so early in the game that I don't have any of his backstory, but like,
I mean, they lore dump you at the beginning with his sad backstory. But
yeah, but it's all personal. Like, none of it's affiliated with anything. Like, and in Disco, like, the character has been there and has fucked shit up. And like here, everybody knows that they're supposed to be a cleric, but they don't know shit about me. Like, I feel that was a real strength that this one hasn't really harnessed, is the fact that your character has history with this area.
As far as I can tell, the cleric is just completely new to the area. He knows of it because he lives in a different part of the city, but
yeah.
There are connections here or there to his backstory, though.
That makes sense. I imagined, especially after finding the bike, I'm like, okay, there are going to be things left around that are related to me.
But also, he was there. He got pushed in the river immediately after parking his bike after he got there.
Yeah, so he was murdered pretty much immediately, so he didn't have a chance to leave an impact on anybody.
By the way, you play as a cleric who was revive from the dead
Yes.
mysteriously.
Mysteriously.
That's not a spoiler. That is just the start of the game.
That's the fucking start of the game. But yeah, like outside of that, I think all of the interactions and the characters and everything are very diverse and interconnected and well modeled after Disco Elysium.
I don't like Snell as much as Kim Kitsuragi, but also I don't think you're supposed to.
100%.
He's supposed to be a little more antagonistic towards you.
It's definitely like, obviously Kim is better. Let's not even fucking pretend. But it's nice to have someone with you who's not 100% by the book. And, you know, I guess that's one of the many strengths of Kim Kitsuragi is despite him being so straight-laced, he will go with you for longer than you'd expect.
Yeah.
The man's willing to compromise some things that probably shouldn't be compromised for the sake of the mission. But I like Snell. I enjoy having someone who is here and kind of wants to be here, but doesn't want to be here with you.
He definitely has his own motivations.
Like, yeah, you both have the same goal of figuring out the mystery, but his motivations are different.
Whether you win him over towards the end of the game or not is up to you.
Yeah.
You can keep making racist goblin jokes at him if you want.
Thank God. Oh, I'm 2 for 2 on fucking interspecies racism and esoteric ebb, let me tell you.
Yeah, I like the way that it takes all of the like D&D tropes kind of seriously. Like someone definitely sat down and thought like, well, how would that actually work out? What's everyone's tax policy?
Yeah, they didn't just fucking throw a veneer of D&D on top of it. They really got into the minutia and figured out, okay, how would these stats interact? And like something I didn't immediately notice, but just the sizing people up, the inspecting people, and how that's not just a general perception stat. It's each stat is used depending on the alignment of that person.
Yeah, like even that just gives you information about who that person is and what they're about.
Yeah, and the fact that the stats
they're red or green or whatever.
Yeah, the fact the stats all have political alignment. And I really appreciate the strong color coding. You know that green always has something to do with wisdom and the Asgalis, and red always has something to do with strength and the city guard. Yeah.
The color of fascism.
The color of fascism. And yellow is the free market people who are kind of dicks.
The anarcho-capitalists.
The anarcho-capitalists.
Something I also appreciate about that game is something that Disco also did is that obviously they have a side of this conflict that they favor, but they're not like unempathetic towards why other people would choose other things.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
like it does approach things that the author obviously disagrees with empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would these teenage boys be turned to the alt-right? Well, because they're jobless and feel disempowered.
That's the one thing, and granted, I didn't experience it in Disco. Maybe I'll go back and play it, but I know that Disco does shit on you a little bit more than usual if you choose to be authoritarian, and I'm curious how this game handles that.
I might do a fascist run of Esoteric Ebb.
That's a good idea.
Funsies.
Yeah. Full on fashy.
But you can also play the cleric religious role straight without being a fascist.
That's
which I
true.
Appreciate.
Yeah, you can just be a good guy who happens to be a part of that party. Kind of.
Like you can be strength focused without going into that ideology if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing with like I'm wisdom focused, and I could choose to not be as Gallist, and I think I'd get a very different experience, despite being heavy into wisdom.
Yeah. Like my main stat was an intellect, so I just had my brain going, "You should run everything," and I'm like, "But I don't want to."
Well, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, I think my political affiliation was I'm apolitical. I'm very smart.
I am very smart. I don't believe in politics.
We're not voting for anybody.
Yeah, that was surprising that the very authoritarian people were like, yeah, no, we're not going to vote. That's stupid. I'm like, okay, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, those kids are actually part of multiple quest lines, which surprised me.
That's good. Yeah, I'm very curious just how big the game is, because looking at the map, it seems like I've seen more or less everywhere, but I'm sure I haven't.
As far as the city goes, I think so. You didn't really explore the tavern that much.
Yeah, there's
Wow.
definitely the tavern that I have to get into, and I'm sure there's more stuff down below.
Yeah, that's mostly like danger dungeon shit, though.
I figured, yeah.
Yeah, as far as like where all the civilians would be, I think you've seen pretty much everything.
Okay. Yeah, I figured there's like
there might be some houses you haven't been into, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like the tavern is a big area, and then like I assume there's going to be some government building where I'm going to go have to talk to what's his name, but we'll see.
There's a couple major characters you haven't met yet, but yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We'll see.
I do like sequence breaking and getting high rolls on things that don't fucking matter.
Pulling some planks off a wall.
Yeah. I think I nat 20'd like 2 character inspections. Just fucking hilarious.
That will get you spoilers.
Ooh, I do like that. But yeah, it's a great time. I'm genuinely thinking about playing that game again, like most of the week. So, all you out there in podcast land, if you like Disco Elysium, check out Esoteric Ebb. And if you don't know what Disco Elysium is, go play Disco Elysium. It's good and it's usually on sale.
And don't play Zero Parades or whatever.
For Dead Spies or whatever. Yeah, just stick to the first one. Now, I'm not advocating that you pirate a video game, but if I did, Disco Elysium might be one of them.
Yeah, that and Cave Story.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, God, I bought Cave Story fucking decades ago now, probably. Back before I knew.
I played it when it was a freeware game.
I did not know about it when it was a freeware game.
I was playing it in my computer lab in high school.
In high school, 2012 looks about the time I bought it. Yeah, so I was nearing the end of college.
Well, I think that's enough from these old men. We should probably.
Yep, I think we should wrap up this here podcast. So, thanks for coming by, everybody. Have yourselves a good week, and probably see you again next weekend.
Get yourself a piece of the action.
Get yourself a piece of the action. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.